Very good afternoon to everybody that's joining us on this beautiful Wednesday. We are halfway through to the weekend again for those that may have some weekend plans at home, maybe series or games or what exercise or washing the car, whatever it may be. We adjusting our lifestyle and changing a little bit in terms of that. Before we start off, and you know how we start, I'd love to know where you're from. And that's your city. So you don't have to tell me your street, you don't have to tell me your business. I just want to know specifically that you are from Johannesburg, Durban, Cape Town, Port Elizabeth, Klerksdorp, Uitenhage, Dispatch, wherever you can be from. Tell us and just comment in the comment box, and let's get going with that specifically. So do just go to the comment box and tell us which city you're from. A very good afternoon, Mimi. How are you?
Afternoon, Neil. Well, thank you. How are you doing in Gauteng?
No, I'm doing well. It's nice and sunny in Johannesburg, and it's getting into winter now, which means it's the dry air. I struggle with the dry air because obviously it affects your nose so hectically as well. But that it's still nice and sunny. And there's no wind.
Wonderful.
And
that
yourself,
is great.
How are you doing?
We had a few drops of rain this morning. I think our gardens need it desperately. We're still in a drought here in the Eastern Cape, and it's rather bad.
I've seen the drought stats, and also my mum and dad told me as well that they were without water for a few days last week. So just quite hectic. Mimi, before we start off, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to know your story, how you started and became so successful as you are today. But let's go through who's joined us and where they're from. So Indrikas is joining us from Johannesburg. Very welcome, Indrikas. Marcel saying hello, Mimi and Neil. Marcel, obviously from Port Elizabeth. Warren joining us and also saying, listening from PA. Hey, Warren, hope you're doing well. Warren is also from Oracle Media side. Carla also joining us. Carla is also from Oracle Media side and saying hello there. Lynn saying hello, everybody. Nomkita, the CEO of the Nelson Mandela Bay Business Chamber, and I hope quite a few people has donated to the Ubuntu Fund, which Nomkita and the team is heading and they've started. So please get hold of the Business Chamber with regards to that. She's saying, hello, you two. Looking forward to listening to Mimi Rupp. Belinda joining us from Johannesburg. Hello, Belinda. Tanya saying hello from Port Elizabeth as well. Hello, Tanya. Antoni saying a very good afternoon from Port Elizabeth. Antoni. Ladace also saying, hey, Mimi and Neil, love the scarf, Mimi. So quite a few people joining us specifically. And guys, it's going to be open for comments and your thoughts and questions as we go through. Please post your questions earlier so that I can get to it before we do run out of time, because we're obviously going to try and keep it within 30 to 40 minutes. And that's why it's so important to have your questions and your comments right at the beginning so that we can actually get into that specifically. So Mimi, I've got the pleasure of starting off with questions with regards to today's session. And you've done so well for yourself over the past few years. Most influential businesswomen in Africa. You won a CEO award in your category last year. You've got quite a few successful businesses as well, and quite a successful family. One living abroad, I think the others all in South Africa, and you do well all across in terms of it. And I'm sure you've had hardships and positives and negatives throughout the years. But let's start off with your journey when you moved to Port Elizabeth and also looked at starting SmartStone.
Wow, that's quite a story. We moved, Bernard and I, who are partners in the business, moved here 33 years ago.
Yeah.
And we both are very entrepreneurial in spirit. And the first thing we wanted to do was create job opportunities.
Yeah.
So we started in contracting. We had a paving company. about 6 years down the line, we were introduced to SmartStone, and we liked it so much that Bernard approached the owners then, and it was a very new company at that point in time. Bernard approached them and said, if ever you wanting to sell or wanting a partner, we on board.
Yes.
And less than 6 months later, we owned it. So
what made you buy it? What was the reason? So own a business, but what was the feel that you had to say, okay, cool, let's do it. Let's do this.
When you looked at the range at that point in time, it was very new. The concept of cast stone was extremely new on the market. In fact, SmartStone was the founding company in South Africa with cast stone. SmartStone itself was established in 1980, and we were the first licensee on board. Oh. And looking at it, although it was more expensive than your standard product, it had a far longer longevity to it. The longevity was better, and the appeal of it was just different. It was beautiful, and with Bernard being Swiss, and with the European look of cobbles, it just somehow appealed to us. And from there we saddled the horse and we carried on. But to be able to do that, we actually had to sell our paving business. And yeah, so that was sad for us because that was our first baby. And then I must tell you, when we were looking for premises, we thought we want to work where staff don't have to use public transport. So we've managed to get premises very close to, well, actually on the road to Schoenmakerskop. And our philosophy has always been to employ people from Walmer Township. So nobody had to take public transport.
They're quite close to work.
Yeah, they're close to work, and that for us was very important. It was about lending a hand and reaching out to people.
Now, Mimi, so you started by buying SmartStone. Tell us, what other businesses do you own currently?
All right, so SmartStone is our bread and butter and provides the most employment. I then have Stone Etc., which is in Villiers Road. There I specialize in holistic living.
Yeah.
So it will be anything from minerals, crystals, quartzes, other semi-precious stones. I like a bit of jewelry, of course, which woman doesn't. And then I have a huge range of Himalayan salt products. It is very healthy for living. And then I have the cooking blocks. And to complement that, I think your essential oils is absolutely important to our everyday life. And then I have succulents and stone on Villiers, which is a succulent and water-wise nursery.
Yes.
And I don't go for the mass-produced products, or I don't like, even when it comes to water features or garden decor, I like designing each bit of decor. I like matching it to the person as such. And then I do a bit of life coaching and business mentoring, and then a bit of public speaking in between.
And yes, it's quite a few things that you're busy with. And then you also have a family that you have to look after. Now, when you bought SmartStone, and just remind me of the year that you bought it.
We signed the documents on the 1st of April, 1994.
And you can remember. How little did you know the 1st of April, 1990? 1994?
Yes.
How little did you know the 1st of April, 1994, that you'd be in lockdown during April, many years to go in the future? But Mimi, take us through, how did you go from SmartStone to getting into business coaching, to getting into stone, etc., to getting into succulents on the Villiers? How did you get into all of that? You want to take us through this journey?
Well, I come from Namibia. I'm a farm girl. I love living as naturally as possible. I don't like kitsch stuff, and I don't like artificial stuff. And I love stone. I have an absolute passion for stone. So whenever I go walking, lo and behold, I'll bring back a stone or two. And I've always got a camera with me, so I'm taking photos. And the whole thing about smart stone was you can't use smart stone on its own. You need something else. You know, you don't want a concrete jungle.
Yeah.
So I started with stones, and then and I was doing gardens, just helping the odd person here and there. And soon I was designing gardens for people, not doing the labor, just designing.
Yeah.
And you know what? Having been an entrepreneur for in excess of 40 years, you learn a lot of lessons, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Even for me, I have a mentor that looks out financially, and then I have a business coach, and so on. And I thought, well, I could have been so much further in life if I had started that journey of mentorship earlier.
Yeah.
And I've got the experience. Why not share it?
Precisely. I remember about 4 years ago, I went through a difficult period myself, and Mimi, you opened up your arms and you mentored me through that specifically. And you know, you said, yes, it's difficult now. Yes, you can't see there is light at the end of the tunnel, but this is how you'll get through this and so forth. And I appreciated it, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people you've also mentored that have gone through things with your guidance.
Yeah. You know what's rewarding for me is that I've been involved with several mentoring programs as well, also doing some pro bono work. And when you look at businesses in town that have really grown from small to quite substantial, and if you look at the success of folk and folk that I've had a hand in showing them the right direction. And, you know, I must be honest, the mentee doesn't always like what you say, but it's not your job, or I don't feel it's my job, to be applauded for the advice I'm giving. I'm the one asking the questions.
Definitely, yeah, I agree. See, Carl saying here, Mimi's Emmeline's salt lamps are divine, really creates such a relaxing atmosphere, especially with working from home. So she's obviously enjoying what she's bought from you, Mimi.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you.
So Mimi, then you've obviously grown your empire over the past few years, and so forth. And you've been, what has been the biggest project you've been involved with in Nelson Mandela Bay, or even outside Nelson Mandela Bay, from Smart Stone side?
All right, so it's not quite an empire; it's a little family business. All right.
Yeah. I disagree.
The most daunting for me was the boardwalk in 2000. We were called on board to submit tenders, and we knew we could deliver, but we had quite a bit of walk-in public as well, so we couldn't focus on just one project. So we made the decision that a percentage of our factory would go towards the boardwalk. The rest we would still keep open to the public. I'm not too good at mathematics, although I have a very logical brain. So at the boardwalk, there are quite a few products that I designed and that I had the molds made, and we manufactured the products. But in that time, my husband had to go to Switzerland for 3-4 weeks. And the project wasn't on time, and I had to step in.
Physically,
so now,
physically.
And even with the bakkie, doing deliveries, and with my my steel cap shoes and my hard hat. And we were asked to put down this enormous deposit to be part of the contract. And I said, listen, why must I put it down? What I've got is what I've got. I'm not going to run away. Anyway, what I learned there is that you get the right people by your side on board. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You know, if you don't understand something, be honest about it.
Yeah.
I remember going to an architect who had a concept, but the architect on site was Ron Whitehead. And he had this idea he wanted, and it was in a little drawing about the size of a postage stamp. And I said, Ron, I think it's feasible or doable, but do it for me on scale. Draw it on a big piece of paper, and then I can tell you yes or no. And from there on, that's how Ron and I communicated, and it worked very well. The other thing was I would walk with a purpose, because if you stand around and you look as if you don't belong, everybody ignores you. If you walk with a purpose and people get the idea, yes, now she knows what she's doing, they tend to you very quickly. And so I skipped many a queue. And I got everybody's attention and I got the job done. And if it meant delivering a pallet load of product on a Saturday or a Sunday, at that point in time, I had my Heister license still. I don't anymore, it's expired. But I had no issue loading it on the vehicle with a Heister, driving to the boardwalk, delivering it, getting the papers signed. So it was fine.
But it was an exciting part of your life as well. It's such a massive contract. And, for those who's joining us that don't know Port Elizabeth, the boardwalk is a massive entertainment complex that was built by Sun International back in 2000. I think even it could have been just before 2000 as well, around there. And it's quite a massive project. So kudos to you on that one, Mimi, and getting that off the ground. And it looks amazing. And it's an amazing product. I know you've done work for my parents as well at their house, and they've loved the work as well from Smart Stone. Before we go on, and next I'd like to get to Mother's Day specifically, and what you could do for everybody there for Mother's Day, from what you are legally allowed to sell, and there is something at least that is available for anybody that's looking for something for mum, or if the mum wants to hint to the dads or kids. Marion saying Mimi is a fantastic mentor, and the business knowledge she has is amazing. The dad also saying, Marion Rupp, I agree. Mentorship grew in a beautiful friendship over the years. Hendrik is saying, walk with purpose, love that. And Lede saying, agree, mentorship that grew into a beautiful friendship over the years. Lede saying that one specifically. So, Mimi, before we go on and we go through some of the difficult challenges you've had through the years and the positives as well, just take us through Mother's Day this weekend. If there's a husband or a child that is looking for something for Mother's Day, that's something different that people could do at home, because obviously around Mother's Day you have to look at what can I give to my mom that she can maybe do around home specifically. What do you have available for anybody that's looking for something?
All right. So at Stone Etc., my nursery, which is Succulents and Stone on Villiers, my nursery is allowed to be open, and we started trading today. Our trading hours from today till Saturday is 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. Unless, of course, somebody phones me, which they're most welcome to do, and I can meet them later in the afternoon. You know what? With the drought we're experiencing here in the Eastern Cape, the route for the future is also going water-wise. And I'm very excited to say we still have a fantastic sale on succulents. And having had a bit of rain, light rain here and there, they are looking beautiful. So I've got potting soil, I've got pots, and I've got incredible succulents. And then, of course, if succulents is not your scene, I am allowed to sell you a gift voucher. So, come along.
Perfect. So that's Succulents on Villiers. And what is the Facebook page called, Mimi?
The Facebook page is Succulents and Stone on Villiers. My signage outside isn't completed yet because during lockdown it was not possible to go ahead. So just look out for a big greenhouse with Stone Etc. on the front, and you'll find us.
Is there a number? It's a 23 Villiers.
It's 23 Villiers. And you're welcome to put my cell number online. They can, people are welcome to contact me or WhatsApp. In fact, WhatsApp me. And if I may just add there, I have a huge range of PPE products at really incredibly good prices. So if anybody is passing by or contractors that are needing anything, they're most welcome to collect from me as well.
Perfect. What I've actually done is I've posted the link to your Facebook page in the in the comment section, so someone can go through to them. I'm also going to show the actual page itself. So it's not as big as I would want it to. So maybe let me. I'm not going to take myself away because then you can't hear me. But that's a Facebook page here on the right-hand side that you see, and you can please go through to it. I've actually posted the link here in the comment section, so you can click on it and go to succulents on and stones on Villiers, and then have a look at that specifically as well. So it's shared there for anybody that wants to get hold of Mimi. I think it's a nice gift for Mother's Day because then it gives something for the mum to do around home and in the garden, and they know throughout the drought it will actually survive. And do you deliver as well, Mimi?
I don't really have a delivery service, but if it's not too far, I would make a plan. But if possible, not, because I am on skeleton staff.
Okay, cool. So you can visit Mimi there in Villiers Road. Here is the link. If you can see, I did post it in the comment side. You can just go and have a look at that. For those who's joining us, and obviously know Mimi, I'd love to know, maybe tell us, how did you meet Mimi? And tell your conversation here in the comment section. How did you meet Mimi Rupp? It will actually be interesting to see some of the comments popping up throughout the years. What year did you move to Port Elizabeth, Mimi?
88, 87.
87.
1987. On the 8th of August, 1987.
Yeah. Oh, well, you remember the day as well. So on the 8th of August, 1987, anybody from there on to now that has met Mimi Rupp, I want to know, how did you meet? And tell us the story in the comment section. And let's talk about that. Mimi, so that's Mother's Day aside now. Now, over the past few years, you must have had your ups and downs as an entrepreneur, starting off your business, and having good years and bad years and so forth. Do you want to take us through some of the ups and downs that you've had since 1994 in terms of buying Smart Stone?
We've had a tremendous amount of challenges, but I'd like to pride myself in the fact that I've made sure I belong to the right associations, that I have the backing, and that I don't fight a solo fight. Firstly, in the business, it's my husband and myself. And then there's so many people out there that can support you. A simple example is the business chamber. Last year, we had a major issue, and all I did was call the business chamber, got my message across to Nomkita, and from there, she gave me the advice and guidance that we followed. And with the whole COVID-19 story, we had another issue, and I was really getting very frustrated, and it sent messages. But after Nomkita was on air, literally within 15 minutes, I had a call and it was sorted. So, you know what? Align yourself. For me, I'm with the Master Builders Association. I'm with the Cement Manufacturers Association. I was a member with Business Women's Association for 20 years. I'm a business chamber member. And I really feel there's no need to reinvent the wheel. Somebody else has walked that path already. Don't be afraid to call in help or assistance or to ask for advice. Often we're so focused on the problem at hand that we don't, you can't be objective about it. Making a call to somebody close to you and that will be in confidence, they can give you clarity on the matter or give you perspective. And that for me has always been invaluable.
And it's nice. So you've been a mentor for many people over the years, Mimi. Who's mentored you?
Several.
Is there like a few you want to maybe mention?
Okay, so
Is it me, Mimi?
Dis jy, Neil. Wonderlik.
No, I'm joking.
Now, you know what? Understand that in a mentorship relationship, the mentee is as much as a mentor as what the mentor is. All right? So you're never going to go into any relationship or partnership or association without learning something from the other person.
Yeah.
And that is for me the most important. So I've had a few people along the way that have really supported me and guided me in business and helped me with business decisions. But if I can say it, somebody that I call on now quite regularly is still Jane Stevenson. And she I met as a customer, I'd say it was about 16 years ago. She visited us at the factory and actually passed out in my office, I think within half an hour. So I wasn't sure what the reason was, but she passed out in my office.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I had to take her to rush her to St. George's Hospital. She's a client. I don't know her husband. Her mother-in-law's there. Then it's a matter of have you got a medical aid? Where's your husband? Can I phone him? So it was I've had quite an adventurous life.
What was it over wine, Mimi?
No, she doesn't drink.
I'm
problem.
I had to put it up. Jane Stevenson, obviously also a business coach of mine through Magnetic Minds, and she does such wow things. I can honestly say to have had the two of you part of my business life and my personal life as friends over the past few years has helped so much. Mimi can be hard. I remember 2 weeks ago I said something to her. I was going through something difficult, and she gave me a response, and the response was actually, it came across as harsh. But sometimes you need that harshness just to push you back into place again. Because it's not about feeling sorry for yourself or anything like that. You need someone that's going to be hard and telling you what you need to know or get at that stage. And I think you've helped so many people, Mimi. And I want to just go through some of the comments here before we get to being a mother specifically. And obviously, we just want to mention this. Please go to Mimi's Facebook page, Succulents on Stone and Villiers. The link is in our Facebook, in our actual Facebook comments section here, and you can have a look at our Facebook page. Please also share the video while we are live. So you can just literally click on share and share now, and that would be quite awesome for more people to see it. So let's just go through some of the comments here. Sarah Will from Bliss here in P, obviously saying hello to Mimi. And Mimi, you must be missing Bliss.
I am desperately.
Sonia Tiflin saying she met you through BWA and Michelle Brown a few years ago. And we're also excited to have Sonia on next week as well. You're on Oracle Media's in conversation with and the entrepreneurship journey. Jane saying hello to gorgeous people. That must be for you, Mimi.
Oh, I'm only one. So I don't know who the second one is.
Trisha saying BWA Mimi is so approachable, friendly, and always willing to listen. Sarah Will saying I met Mimi at Bliss about 5 years ago, and she has been our biggest mentor, greatest friend, and most incredible support. Always giving the best advice, gives the best hugs as well. Then Gail Brown joining us and saying hello, Mimi. Loretta saying through BWA, iconic entrepreneur. At first, I was very scared to even greet her. That walking with purpose thing. So I wasn't the only one that was also a bit scared to meet you at first, Mimi. There's others as well, but
I want to share a story with you, if I may, Neil.
I don't know if we should maybe share Nomkita's WhatsApp number so she can get a few more queries from people directly. Joking there, Nomkita. She's also helped me out with a scenario 2 weeks ago. So thanks for that, for Nomkita, the CEO of the Nelson Mandela Bay Business Chamber. Jane saying...
Sorry?
Pardon?
I just want to say there's somebody passed a comment, and I see one of my previous mentees is online, Serena Engelbrecht.
Yeah.
She was in Port Elizabeth, and we had one session, we met at in Warmer for a mentoring session through BWA.
Yes.
And we asked some very tough questions. And the next day she said, well, she's actually not carrying on with the mentoring because she needs to look through or think about things.
Yeah.
Think matters over. She relocated because, and has actually since developed into the most passionate, committed person in her new career. And the toughest question I asked her was, why are you carrying on with this journey?
Yeah.
She wanted direction in her business. And I said, but that's not for you. Find what your purpose is.
Yes.
So Serena actually said there, thank you for asking the rough or the tough question, because 2 years later she came to see me, and we've since had many a very constructive conversation.
I'm just looking for that one specifically. Is it one of the comments here at the top?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, this one. There
Yes.
you go. That's so cool. So helping so many people, and that's what's so important to ask those tough questions specifically as well. Mimi. Jane saying here, it's important to ask for help when you need it. Reach out and stop trying to do it all alone. Use the networks and associations, and that's so important. I can definitely vouch for that. Sarah saying, Mimi and Jane, Neil give the best advice. More Mimi and Jane's side, because they've got so much experience in terms of business. I phone them regularly for advice. Don't recall how I met Mimi, but one thing for sure was that I'm grateful for the particular moment, a true friend and mentor. And that's from Tanya. Jane saying, agree, mentoring is a two-way learning. Then also saying, love you, Mimi, thanks for sharing that online. I'm not going to do the Sarah saying it's a great story, Jane, as well. And then Jane adding there, there's more Mimi. Mimi charmed the doctor big time. Ask her about that. So Mimi, tell us about how you charmed the doctor.
No, it was actually not me. But what I wanted was, I needed attention for Jane. It was a foreign doctor.
Yeah.
And I thought the quickest way to get excellent service was to be very charming. So, well, it worked.
Well, there you go.
We got what we needed, and Jane got the attention she needed, or the medical treatment. So it was fine, but we had lots of laughs, and that's where a friendship was born. And you know what? I feel in business, if you are totally honest and committed to your client, inevitably you become friends.
Yes.
And so a lot of my clients are actually now friends.
Sandy also saying here, today's Mimi, the sorority sisters, and I've always admired her as well. And Michael saying, I met her in the office last year when I was a bit frustrated. So it seems like it's so nice to see all of the stories and everybody coming forward and saying how they've met you and how you've helped them throughout the years, Mimi. And I think, if anything that we take from that away today, it's that people coming forward and saying thank you to you and saying thank you for how you've helped them throughout the past few years. Now, how do you manage being a mother and also running all of these businesses the past few years? It must have been difficult, and so forth. What's your advice for maybe an entrepreneur? It could be a mum or a dad, and also has a few kids, and they're trying to balance work and business, your business life and your private life every single day.
All right, so that's actually not been so difficult. And I had my 3 children throughout being an entrepreneur as well. On the one hand, I am a workaholic, but I'm as protective of my family. Whatever I did, I made sure that, say, for example, I was deciding to spend time with the children, I was totally committed to them for that time. It was not a matter of answering the phone or being distracted. So if we're painting the day or gardening or doing craft, they are 100% my priority. When it came to school, whatever had to be done, be it a sports day or be it a prize giving or whatever. My eldest Daniel, who's turning 40 this year, says he remembers coming last in a gala in his grade 1. He says, but he knew that irrespective of where he was finishing in the race, I would be there.
Mm.
And that was important for me. So when I'm focusing on a mentee, that is my priority. When I'm the gardener or doing design, that is my priority. And so I'm quite good, although my mind is distracted and fills up with everything else. When I'm focused on or got the hat on, if I refer to it wearing different hats, whichever hat I'm wearing, that one I'm 100% committed to. And that makes sense at the end of the day. But I don't take much holiday. I do work weekends. I do work late in the evening. But I also make time for my husband and I make time for my friends, because without the support around me, we'd never survive.
It's important because you support each other through everything ultimately.
Yeah.
Now, Mimi, also take us through this lockdown period. What advice do you have for anybody that is struggling through this lockdown period with their business, whether it be an employer or employee specifically? What advice would you give to anybody?
What I find from my perspective, we have quite a few staff, and I've got an HR department that attends to them. But for my key staff, I would phone them every week to 10 days just to check up how they're doing. I think the important thing was that they had to understand that they're not in it alone, but that I also felt vulnerable, that it wasn't that I'm a conqueror or a lioness or whatever and could handle it all. What I've learned is that once again, when we're stuck in our little box, in our whatever's going on in your mind, you get a bit frustrated and you start. I had a pity party. I've had several pity parties in the last 6 weeks. And then you pick up the phone and you phone a friend. And I'm very blessed with a dinner club, a group of ladies, a very big dinner club. But we have a Zoom every Wednesday from 1 until 2.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so it's amazing. Some days we cry, some days we laugh, other days we laugh and cry.
Yeah.
But the ideas that have come out of there, the shared compassion, the love, the support, is absolutely amazing. And I need to share this with you quickly if time allows.
Please go.
It's a dinner club I started 2 years ago, and it was about the whole idea was getting my mandate was building friendship. So irrespective of what your position was or what your company was or what your financial status was, the mandate was getting to know the person and being there to support the person, to be a sister. And you know what? Firstly, you do support one another in business if you can trust them, or you're happy to advise or recommend somebody if you trust them. All right. So that was the first start. You will start building a network. But ultimately, if you don't have your sisterhood around you, it's a very lonely road. And now, 2 years later, the whole idea of the group we have created is what is lifting us up. And it's sharing the ideas and it's sharing the contacts. And it's not a road that you walk on your own anymore.
You have that assistance and you're working together.
Yeah. And I'm excited to say there are quite a few new business ideas coming out of there. So watch the space. We'll keep you informed.
Oh, wow. So it's going to be quite exciting to see any of those announcements also coming through, Mimi, in terms of that. Quite a few extra people joining here currently. And Lynn saying, I'm just going to open it up, saying, thank you, Mimi. Lovely hearing your story that it comes through so naturally, honest and sincere, great lessons. specifically. Jane saying the best hour in my week, Sorority Sisters Dinner Club. Serena Engelbrecht saying, what are some of the best stones, crystals we can use during this time to balance energy?
I've been running a few of the, posting a few stones on Stone, etc. And I start off with rose quartz. Rose quartz is about love. It's about, it's the universal stone of love. And I feel now we are feeling so fragile that unless we have the connection with stone, you're going to be quite lost. So rose quartz is a pink stone. It's beautiful. It's very soft and feminine, and it just makes you feel good. Then to have something that brings about a bit of peace is your amethyst. Amethyst is, in my opinion, the most popular stone. Everybody's got a purple stone lying around somewhere. And now I'm going to be quite controversial.
Yeah.
Diamond is also very good. So diamond is the stone of amplifying. So the positivity or the energy level that needs to enter your body, that needs to enter your mind, the messages you need to hear are all amplified with diamonds. And then, of course, let's not forget something like aventurine, which is green. It just creates a bit of peace and harmony as well. So there's lots of different stones, lots of purposes, but understand not all stones resonate with all people. It's about connecting. You know, if you come into my shop, for example, at Stone, etc., there's thousands of different stones. And one which you think today is absolutely beautiful, tomorrow or the next day, you're going to think, oh, why did I even bother looking at that one? But the one that attracts you is the one that you need. And that's the important thing. So often if you even look at a piece of jewelry, or even if you go walking on the beach and there's a stone or something beautiful, that is what you are needing at that point in life. You are not seeing that beautiful picture or that stone or that shell accidentally. You are needing to see it.
And it's obviously great to see how people find what they specifically need from your shop in Villiers Road as well, Mimi. It must be quite satisfying for you.
Extremely. I think there are very few people that have as so much satisfaction out of what they do. What I do, absolutely every little crevice of what I do is filled with my love for what is there. So I have a huge selection. I have raw stone and the polished and tumbled. I do have jewelry. I even have silver jewelry. But my whole focus on business is to make it affordable. So I heard a very good comparison a while ago where they said, you can, when you go into business, decide which market you're going to cater for. Is it the market that you cannot afford? So then you are the more exclusive end of the market, or are you going to cater for the market that you can afford? I've opted to go for the market I can afford. I want to be in a position where my profit margins are way, way lower than what they should be. But at the end of the day, a 5-year-old can come in and afford a stone. Or if you're a serious collector, I'll be able to help you as well.
Well, maybe we're going to get to the last few questions that's coming through. So anybody that wants to ask Mimi anything or actually want to share your thoughts on what you've mentioned before, or any questions about smart stone, etc., or succulents on Villiers, please comment in the comment box. I'm going to take Mimi off the screen for a few seconds, and I'm just going to share who our speakers are for next week. And when we come back, we're going to get Mimi's final thoughts that you'd like to share with us. And we're also going to get the last few questions and thoughts you wanted to share in the comment box. And that's going to be in 1 minute. So Mimi, don't go anywhere. I'm just going to take you off for 1 second. So looking at the actual events that's coming up during the month, and I just want to take my video off so you can see it a lot better. These are some of the speakers that we will have during the month of May. Obviously, we've had Eleanor Craig this past week, past Monday, and his video is obviously still on our Facebook page. We have Mimi Rupp on the 6th, which is obviously now, and then on the 8th, this coming Friday, we've got Jared and Serena. They're joining us from Bali and Australia, and they're going to be talking marketing and ideas from Australian side and the from Bali side as well. Then on the 11th of May, next week, Monday, we've got JT Fox. He's the #1 wealth coach in the world, and he's going to be sharing his advice on being the #1 wealth coach and business coach all the way from America, and that's next week, Monday the 11th at 3. Then on the 13th, next week, Wednesday, we've got Sonia Tiflin. She is an entrepreneur, also director of BLC Attorneys in Port Elizabeth, and she's going to tell us about the other businesses that she's involved with as well. And that's next week, Wednesday at 3 o'clock specifically. Then on the 15th, next week, Friday, we've got Tanusha and Carmen, who's going to join us talking about marketing specifically at 3 o'clock. Then the following Monday, on the 18th of May, we have Nanya Bonamilla talking about democracy, the human rights, and COVID-19, all the way from Johannesburg. Then on the 20th, and some of you will know Vinnie Lingham from Shark Tank specifically, and he's going to be joining us all the way from America. Please note, this session is at 5 o'clock, because 5 o'clock in our time is 7 o'clock in the morning for him, and he just said, Neil, I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock to talk. So we've moved it on with 2 hours, and his session only will be at 5 o'clock on the 20th of May on that day. Then on the 22nd, I'm talking social media, and I'm also talking about influencers on the 22nd of May. Then the 25th of May, we will have Kobe Portita talking about property and market advice. And then on the 27th of May, we will have Michelle van der Merwe from VZLR Attorneys in Pretoria talking family law during COVID-19 and everything that you need to know. Then on the 29th, a special guest appearance on the panel discussion and various industry experts. So that's going to be quite exciting, and we will be announcing who those experts are closer to time. So quite a few speakers joining us, and that's going to be quite exciting during the month of May, right here on the Oracle Media Facebook page, every day at 3 o'clock, except with Vinnie Lingham. So, Mimi, I see Jane is asking here, Mimi, do you have any stones, any of these stones or stone, etc.? And have you, it's such a nice gift. When will the business open again?
All right. So my nursery, which is located on the same premises, is open already. I'm hoping Stone, etc. will be able to open at level 3. I try my best not to go against the law. So yes, let's hold thumbs that next week it's level 3, and then I can open Stone, etc. In the meantime, you're welcome to come and get a gift voucher, and then or put aside what you're looking, or just even come for advice. I have no problem for people just wanting advice. Unfortunately, though, I cannot sell.
Perfect. So anybody that's wanting a Mother's Day gift, please get a hold of Mimi, and she'll be able to help you, whether it's plants that they can sell at this stage from the nursery side, or even gift vouchers for anything else for Mother's Day, which is, I think, this coming Sunday, if I'm correct. Then please get it from Mimi. You have a few days left to get that gift specifically. Then Mimi, to end off, any final thoughts or advice you'd like to share with us today?
Yes, I'd like to add, for those that I collect quotes, and I have hundreds and thousands of quotes that I share every day. People are welcome to go to my personal Mimi Rupp Facebook page. There's a bit of motivation every morning and most evenings. And so I'd like to leave, end of today, with 2 quotes. The one is, to avoid criticism, do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. All right. So why are you bothering to use the oxygen around you? Okay. Well, that's my comment about it. The last one is, at the moment with lockdown and COVID-19, I know we're really, really battling. I don't know what the future holds, but for one thing, I think we'll come out kinder. And as a few words of parting is, a diamond is a piece of charcoal which delivered his best under great pressure or times of stress. I think we're all diamonds in the making, and it's time to start looking around and finding those people. I know I have found strength in people that I never knew they had that in them. And my closing words is, let's start looking for the positive and looking for those diamonds. They are there.
Awesome. Mimi, thank you so much for all of the advice and sharing your journey from starting SmartStone in 1994 all the way through now, some of the hardships that you've had, the mentorships where you've been a mentor, you've had mentors yourself, and the friends and the alliances that you've built over the past few years. I think it's really nice to be able to get that positive feedback, especially during times like this as well. And I see this, then Nkita's already saying here, please prepare a nice indoor succulent, send a quote and a pic, please. And that's Nkita from the Nelson Mandela Bay Business Chamber. So that's already a client coming on board wanting some stuff from you, Mimi. If there's anybody else, please make contact with Mimi and get your vouchers or your prices specifically. Also, just a note quickly for anybody that's looking for any essential products, for masks, temperature guns, to hand sanitizers, anything like that, please make contact with OM Distributors. Just go to your Facebook page, OM the Distributors, and they'll be able to assist you with anything like that nationwide specifically. Mimi, quite a few people saying thank you so much. They really appreciate it, all your advice and everything today. And thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Mimi, if anybody can't get hold of you, is there a number they can phone?
Yes, please. My cell phone number is 08246 04 246
Yeah.
04
Yeah.
924. And my email address is Mimi, MIMI, at stoneetc.coza. And you're welcome to pass it out. It's easy to get hold of me like that.
Perfect. So 08246 4924.
Thank you.
Perfect. So anybody that wants to get a hold of Mimi, please do so. Please join us this coming Friday with Serena and Jared, all the way from Bali in Australia, talking about marketing, and obviously all our speakers next week as well. Thank you so much for joining. Mimi, thank you so much from your side. I really appreciate it. And we'll touch base soon. Have a good Wednesday.
Thank you very much. And thank you to everybody for tuning in.
Thanks so much. All the best. Bye-bye.